second Winnerbracket semifinal has officially started. The only Chinese player stepping into the ring, the third best undead in the world, is WFZ, versus the second best orc in the world, that is FoCuS from Korea, obviously. For both of us, FoCuS is the big favorite. The vote, well, 50-50, but with only 4 votes, that doesn't say too much. We start on Concealed Hill, and usually when WFZ is facing an orc, it's guaranteed fun because it's different, but we talked about this in the pregame. Will he play normal now, or will we have something obscure to watch? That's kind of the story. FoCuS is one of the most standard players that we have in the scene, so I would be very surprised to see Facio Wyvern shenanigans here.
Yeah, that used to be a popular strat also for FoCuS, but that's quite a long time ago.
Yes.
That was like Keeper Patch days. You remember that series, FoCuS versus 120?
Yes, I do.
That was FoCuS playing extremely well, eliminating 120 from the round of 8, making it so that there was no undeads at all in the top 8 there. But here he is going with the Blade Master, the good old Blade tier 3 triple hero style. Very, very strong if you get to the late game, if you don't miss your power spikes, if you don't lose momentum. Not so easy to pull off, honestly, especially against the top undeads, but FoCuS has been playing it for a long time. And in my opinion, definitely second best orc in the world and second best orc against undead. I was thinking, is Fly maybe better in this matchup? But I would say no, absolutely not.
The thing that Fly has is peak performance. So when he's good, he's really good. But then he has the off days where he looks really weak. FoCuS rarely has the off days. Like, you can count this on one hand when I thought, okay, FoCuS is really weak today. Of course, he has peak performances as well. I think his peak is not as high as Fly's peak, but the consistency is there for the Korean. And that's why he's so successful in especially online tournaments. And as this is an online tournament, we should see the real FoCuS, the strong FoCuS that we enjoy so much throughout the years.
Yeah, absolutely. Late Master starting off with the standard creep, hoping for the claws, gets the circuit. Also, nice. Kind of surprised me that he's creeping the whole camp. FoCuS, normally one of those orcs who really loves running from camp to camp, just sniping the items. That also helps nicely with level 2 progress, which is of course what you want to acquire quickly. Goes for both of these. WFZ on the other side is going for the Ted Fiend build. That is what basically every single player plays nowadays, with the exception of Shocker from Oceanus, former Oceanus, who still plays Fiend build order, because it gives you faster tech, faster DK presence. Tech from FoCuS still faster a little bit, that is the norm. Creeping a little bit passively. Normally we see Blade Masters after the first camp going towards the opposite side of the map, trying to take camps away from there. But FoCuS so far seems to be absolutely uninterested in being aggressive, but is just prioritizing creeping himself.
Yep, I like that. Fast level 3 here on CH can give you so much control and vision and map presence in the mid game, and that is of course then time for a strong Shadow Hunter, which you need. And WFZ is like not threatening him in any way. There's no way for the undead to threaten the orc early, because once the Shadow Hunter arrives, all the fiends will die if you are position yourself aggressively. And now FoCuS is making the first
coming in for the steal. Oh, secures it with a coil though, so FoCuS couldn't even have gotten this. That Ogre Magi, really big last hits.
Windwalk is over though. Expired, uses it again. I think WFZ got it. Item went to FoCuS, right? It's kind of hard to say.
Yep, WFZ got the experience, FoCuS the item, exactly. Also, cost 2 coils for WFZ though, so heavy mana investment for this camp. Finds himself now left with only 1 coil for the time being, and is not interested in trading here with the Blade Master. Moving towards the middle. I was thinking for a moment, is he going to creep the lab? That would have been quite bold, no. WZ moves further north. I'm glad to see, by the way, that he's no longer playing the 4 Ghoul build, which has like barely any mid-game presence, but goes for the standard tier 3 Ghoul build nowadays. If he goes for super fast tier 3 before Slaughter, then this is once again looking very happy influenced.
here we see the benefit of FoCuS's early commitment to creep spots. That's his level 3. Also stealing one camp in the middle of the map. WFZ though, not like this is FoCuS's side of the map, I guess, but a very protected one, very far out. So he has to walk a long way to make these camps happen. But if he gets the natural, that's quite big to steal it from the Shadow Hunter. But on the other side, FoCuS is using his time wisely for the lab creep with only 3 grunts and the blade.
The Rock Golem threw a boulder on his way back.
Yep, I don't know how that works, man.
That's weird. Huh? What? Why?
Huh?
Huh?
Warcraft mechanics.
Oh, Scroll of the Beast.
Yep.
Does that mean Zeppelin Raider drop into the back? How lame is FoCuS feeling today?
What do you think? How sad was he when Speed Scroll was not applying to Zappers anymore? There was
shadows coming in.
That must have been his like one of the worst days of his career.
Coil, TP, trying to save these fiends. One of them still gonna die. That always feels bad if you're investing the TP, but the fiend still dies.
And a coil.
And that is the first severe lead in this game going to FoCuS. Takes out the TP plus a fiend. And the Blade Master, wow, look at his experience. He's close to level 4, kind of. FoCuS loves sniping those items. Would love to go for the Overlord.
Not with the Blade Master though. He's in the base, can't reach the Acolytes, only going for the ghouls. But that's also a nice way of slowing WFZ down. Less lumber means slower upgrades. But the Overlord goes to the Undead. Very rare to see.
FoCuS might be scouting for it, so this should cost another coil for WFZ.
If he steals that.
Even if he gets the item, it's really good.
Yeah.
FoCuS has the fastest fingers in the West normally, and he gets it again.
But not the experience, only the item. But
with
still.
the coil, it's impossible to get that last hit, but the item. It's a pretty bad one, it's the helm only. But for the Blade Master, it's not bad. Like, it's actually a decent item, it's just so much worse than some of the auras.
Yeah. Thank you, Wow Kante, for the 4-month resub. And yeah, Blade Master.
Yeah. FoCuS's Blade Master control once again is really good.
Yeah.
As pretty much always is the case, of course. And WFZ is still struggling to assemble somewhat of a scary army. 3 fiends, 1 statue only so far. Early Ziggurat upgrade into Spirit Tower. Is it Zeppelin time? It smells like Zeppelin time.
Look at this. Yeah, 1 Raider, Shadow Hunter.
But
there we
only
go.
1 Raider. It's not that much damage.
He still has to scroll the beast.
It's a full wall off though, so WFZ, it's so hard to get back there because he can't TP into the back because he lost the TP earlier.
Yes, he doesn't have. He didn't rebuy it yet. Okay, so how much will this tower do? Needs a heal wave on this Raider for sure. Scroll the beast, pop first, Acolyte down.
And now how to get there?
Yeah.
WFZ.
Using the grunts, the ghouls kind of easily. There's 1 more heal wave.
This is so awkward. Well, 1 grunt dies though.
Yeah, FoCuS
It's
not
probably
really-
gonna cost a TP here for FoCuS, but this is so much dead. Wait, does he actually get it? I didn't
like
think he
it.
would get it.
He gets all the Acolytes, so they can't repair. He's just fully committing.
He actually gets it.
Oh wow, that's horrible.
Oh, yeah. These Scroll of the Beast, Zeppelin drops, they are kind of silly.
But so effective and so smart. GG! Just taps out.
All right, we might be catching up on our schedule a little bit here.
Yep. 9-minute 12 in a matchup that usually goes 20 plus minutes with full out tier 3. Not here, no.
That was a bit of a painful one. I mean, kudos kind of to WFZ, who had a feeling this was coming with a Spirit Tower. But 1 Spirit Tower is not enough to deal with the whole army back there.
And in general, wouldn't a Narrow Tower be smarter?
Yeah,
Or
I mean,
both?
either is not good enough. The counterplay to this, I guess, is manually open up the wall off again. So the way you want to have it in a perfect world is your gold mine is walled off until you finish tier 3, and upon finishing tier 3, you want to open up that gold mine in case some drop harass comes in.
Yeah.
But almost nobody pays such close attention to base layout.
Except you,
Only
of
I do.
course. And who
No,
was
wait,
it? Terra?
I and Sheik, I think. Sheik was also
Sheik, okay.
Feng Shui undead.
Wasn't it Terra
Or was it
in
Terra?
the Rising Star Cup last
Yeah,
week?
it may have been. I think you're right. I think it's Terra. Yeah.
You're just such a fan of Sheik that you apply all good things to him in general.
No, that's you. I'm a Shaddai fanboy, bro.
I haven't seen him in a long time.
Though.
Yeah.
I don't think he played in one single Rising Star, if I remember right.
We did a count, by the way, how many unique players were in the Rising Star Cups together. 384 or something.
Nice.
Yeah.
I was one of them.
My time will come, Remo, one day.
Next week?
Next week I'm at a concert. Maybe the concert I'm looking forward to the most in the entire first half of 2020.
What's the band? I'm sure I'm gonna know it.
It's 3 bands that I love. It's not like all... Okay, it's kind of one all-time favorite. That's Spanish Love Songs. They do the warm-up gig for the Menzingers. And the second opening band is Mannequin Pussy. Very good bands.
And what's the main band?
The Menzingers.
The Menzingers. All right, nice. Totally do not know a single one of those bands.
You wouldn't like it. It's not that you would hate it, but it's not artsy enough for you. It's just straight up pop punk, pretty much. Not in the cheap teenage way, but just solid.
Is it better or worse than My Chemical Romance?
I mean, what's better than My Chemical Romance? But it's not so cliche. It's like rock, pop, emo, indie mix.
Okay.
Not too hard, little sing-along. Casual stuff.
So we're seeing the same builds here once again as the openings. Tet Fiend build versus Blade Master, 1 Borrow Tech. He is gonna make a shop, right? Right, shop coming now from FoCuS.
Yes. Can't really gamble on the replenishment potion.
Is there any benefit to making the shop later than earlier for resources?
Maybe you get the tech a little faster because the peon is at lumber earlier?
But I mean, if you make the shop earlier, he returns to lumber earlier. So it should end up being the same, shouldn't it? Maybe. Maybe not. Acolyte Scouts. Is WZ gonna attempt with the steal, perhaps? Alright. Want to hear a bold prediction, Creep Route? FoCuS gonna steal the Ogre Magi from WFZ side. At the natural.
At the natural, okay. To be honest, I could see that. FoCuS always loves inventory, so wouldn't be too surprised to see him creep up a little more first.
He's going crit first, so it means he's also going to go for the green outside his main. I wouldn't have expected that.
See, my prediction.
A player's forces are under attack.
Oh wow, WZ is going for the natural creep with 4 skeletons. I've seen
and ghouls.
Happy do that before. Okay, he's doing it with ghouls. Happy does it with only skeletons. All right.
Good for him.
4 ghouls. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Is this the Dreadlord play again? Dreadlord shape play?
Well,
that's no
whatever
bueno.
floats his boat, I guess.
Well, with the creep route right like that, I guess FoCuS is not gonna steal the Magi. But let's see if he wanted to do it. Pretty crap items for FoCuS, by the way, so far. Sells the ring, gets the circlet, keeps the gauntlets. And where's he going? Oh, he was going to the Ogre Magi, Neo. I knew it!
Damn, our prediction game on point here. Can't get the Ice Shore. Ooh, that was close. We do have Windwalk now with level 2 lining up pretty much perfectly. WFZ supply block for a second, then the Fiend transition after the 4 goals. And with the first grunt, you can just steal more. Mana looking okay. Not too great.
Oh, yeah, look, we have the first Keck W of the day in the chat. Are you enjoying that?
Yay! Amazing! So eloquent.
Yesterday we were talking quite extensively about Keck W, which I found really funny.
It was a very humorous talk, yes.
Seems like WFZ is prioritizing creeping his creeps on his side so the Blade Master doesn't get him.
Forces are under attack.
Leaving not too much left for the Lich, but really good experience for the DK. And with a big mana potion, really good item as well. And since he got the bigger camps and FoCuS wasted a bit of his time running around not accomplishing much for a little while, he is behind by a good 100 plus experience right now.
I guess it's gonna be kind of the same issue that Infi had yesterday when he did a creep route like this. You have to go either to the middle for more creeping on the second hero or far out on the map, leaving the middle to your opponent. And it's like, especially with Undead versus Orc, you don't want to fight early in the mid game. But you don't want a strong Shadow Hunter either, so what to do?
And normally the middle camp items are always good for Orc, like no matter what you find.
Yeah.
That's a really nice thing. Healer wards, for example, would have been great for FoCuS. For WFZ, it's like, meh, I have statues anyways, do I really need this? Can help with some difficult camps, like this one perhaps. For the healing on the DK now, it's nice, so I really like WZ's creep route, actually. It's a bit of mind game gambling going on as well, because FoCuS could have just been power creeping his Blade Master to level 3 earlier instead, and then could have been aggressive, but it didn't happen, so it's working out nicely for WFZ. Gets both items from the middle, not the whole camps, but both items, and the Lion Horn is really good.
Yeah, feels like FoCuS lost track of him for quite some time, which is not normal at all. And the Shadow Hunter's playing a passive game, creeping up level 2 at the natural.
This early game was really nice for WFZ. Better creep route for him, absolutely. However, he's playing the Shade strat, so let's see where this late game goes.
Yeah, Remo not a fan. We'll see if there's a Dreadlord.
So if you guys are not too familiar with the Shade strat, WFZ has been playing this for a long time. He developed this build and played it for a long time with mixed success. The way this works is you get a Shade out early with a 4 ghoul, so you need to go 4 ghouls firstly. You also need a Sacrificial Pit and you need the Shade. So that's a lot of gold not going into army, weakening your tier 2 presence. As we can see right now, WFZ, what does he have? 2 heroes, 2 fiends. That is nothing. If FoCuS was to play aggressively against this, he could punish really hard. But the idea is, nowadays this meta is pretty slow. Before tier 3 we don't really see transition, so you can get away with a greedy opening like this, as seems to be working out pretty well for WFZ. And the late game transition is you go Dreadlord third to sleep, control the Blade Master, and you align that with the Destroyer timing push, so you are super strong in the first, say, 20 seconds of the fight, because you have Destroyer mana for damage, and you slow down the Blade Master with sleep, so you try to win the fight in those 20 seconds. And that sometimes works, and sometimes you win the game with that. But if you don't win the game in those 20 seconds, that game is over. And that is why I don't like this strategy.
Very timing dependent. For Happy, I would think this could work, of course, a lot better than for WFZ. But he's pretty much the only one playing it. Blade Master about to steal the Magnetor. Oh, canceling the healing. Despite the statue being there. Interesting. And there's a Shade anyway, so... Of course the Shade strat helps with this situations as well.
Yep. But because Lich is not level 2 yet, it's not so easy to force the Blade Master away. And WFZ was feeling a little afraid. Might be getting creepjacked. Didn't have enough skeleton scouting knowledge to be aware that the Shadow Hunter was far away.
Forces are under attack.
So WFZ's leveling here is really slow. Lich still not level 2. Shadow level 3 already. And found a Pendant of Energy.
Yes.
Which is a really strong item. That should really get nerfed, by the way. And also finds Talisman. Not too bad for his melee heroes.
Nice for the TC indeed, who's out now. No third hero for WFC yet. Not in production. Oh, Blade Master, if he gets this.
Oh, he gets both! Oh my.
Are you kidding me? How is he so good with these steals?
Dude, FoCuS is seriously such a master with the blade.
It's not like he has a ping
Players' forces are under
advantage
attack.
or any other advantage.
And in the meantime, the rest of the army is going for the red camp. Surrounds the Reaver there. Gets the next big item. Good experience for the TC. Already the Berserker transition is on the way. Which is what you want in the late game. You want ranged units, not melee units. Waltzing Battle Drums is pretty unfortunate. Does not stack with the Kodo Aura anymore. But it's gold.
Yeah. And it's an item that WFZ does not get because it would have been amazing for his Fiends. We see a Pit Lord third.
Oh, okay.
Is no disable then. Just
Alright, so
damage
he's not
mitigation.
playing the Dreadlord push at least, so I like that adjustment.
Feels like we get a fight soon. Blade Master not with the army yet. Got himself the orb. Damage is okay.
Not a single invul on FoCuS's side. Never mind. He actually found the big invul earlier. Okay.
And then the blade might expose the TC a little bit. Howl of Terror used. No dispel for WFZ at the moment. Ghouls are falling rapidly against the focus fire. Blade down to 50% as well. And he's not in range for a heal wave at the moment. Oh boy, and he dies.
Pretty awful start to the fight here for FoCuS. Focusing on the Pit Lord in the first place and not protecting his first hero. Well, this is how you give a game out of hand. Well done by WFZ, perfectly calculating the kill threshold. FoCuS did not see that coming. Yeah, but that was really questionable. Like, ensnaring the Pit Lord and focusing him. Pit Lord is the #1 tank. You're not supposed to attack that guy. You're supposed to kill the statues first, and then the Fiends.
Like, the Pit Lord on level 1 has pretty much no weakness. He has a very good spell. He has decent right clicks. He has good armor. He has good HP. It's a very good level 1 hero.
Yeah, with Frost Armor, he's a really good tank, so...
Yes.
That was honestly very poorly microed by FoCuS, which is something we get to say very rarely against Undead. Normally he plays really well, but that was very sloppy indeed. Blade Master being revived, halfway back only. This is WFZ's time now to really take control of this game.
It's the best moment for sure. Stomp is good. Heal wave after. No Howl of Terror yet. There we go. DK has plenty of mana, plus the big potion. Lich is kind of dry, but good damage on his side. Statue a little bit exposed. Has to use the second heal wave. There is many more thanks to the pendant. Ooh, even Burrow comes into play, and he's trading one Fiend for a Raider, which is good to get the control out of FoCuS's game. Another one dead. Sooner than later, though, Fiends are in danger.
It's pretty easy to micro for WFZ though, with no orb coming in for the purge. He's got so many coils. That Fiend,
I think it was on
I
cooldown.
think, could have been coiled. Not sure. But behind that, WFZ has an expansion on the way. This is looking still really good for the Undead. But Blade Master does return now. Finally, where is he? There we go. He has been severely missed, and as we can see, big invul still in his inventory. And now with the purges coming in, first hit purge instantly.
TC has no stomp anymore, and I guess there's no reveal as well. Kodo Beast, empty stomach, at least one of them. And one will fall. Pit Lord this time untouched, but the Lich gets level 3. Quite a good fight for WFZ, who still has the big mana. Next nuke, TC out of that fight. Range army for FoCuS looks good, but it's not the critical mass yet, I guess. Hero focus on that Lich. Needs more coils, but the coils will be there. And the Frost Armor is such a nice ability versus ORC. Heal Wave ends up into the Void, pretty much. Lich forced into the Invul Potion during the Town Portal. And WFZ not even losing that statue. FoCuS holds, and he is not expanding. This is just 2 buildings, a tower and a Voodoo Launcher that should lead to an expansion. But with these heavy losses and the Blade Master revive, he has no gold for that, and double base for WFZ.
Thanks to the tiny Great Hall though, FoCuS can easily get to 2 base himself. He's scouting for the expansion, sees it. Now Blade Master will be harassing this a little. Gold for him is looking okay. There's a shop at the expansion already. I like that. And that means tiny Great Hall time. FoCuS made a big mistake, fell back far in this game, but it's not over yet.
We have a little bit of a sub here. Dr. Thomas Miranda Acmedian for the 4 months in a row. Just came here and saw Moon played all 3 games with Warden. Ain't that proof that they should buff Night Elf? Less than 3 hugs and love for both of you. Less than 3. I think there's better proof than this. Thank you, Witch Doctor, for the 8-month resub. As we're very close to a fight, maybe we can answer that later. But we thank you now.
A player's forces
Marketplace,
are
do we have
under
something interesting to offer? Big mana potion is really good.
But also very
pretty
expensive.
though.
The DK still has that big mana. That's crazy. And the Lich with 2 claws of attack, sick damage dealer, and damage mitigation on the other side. Still no dispel. So Blade Master focused, forced into this invul, the only one he has. And mana on the Shadow Hunter is limited too.
Like now going towards the statues in the back. But there's 3 statues here, really hard to take out. Invul about to run out as well. Now it does. Grunt's left behind, and here we can see how easily they get sniped in the late game. Grunt lives really do not matter in this matchup. But FoCuS is trying to transition more into ranged anyways, going into mass berserkers. What you also want to have in the late game as tech is walkers. But FoCuS has been under so much pressure, he hasn't found the time yet to go for that.
Can he hold this tiny Great Hall? WFZ is breaking up, keep building a bigger and bigger army. Blade Master went to the shop but got nothing. Tower dies in seconds. How is he supposed to win that fight? TC is not level 3 for the big stomps and hero focuses.
FoCuS again just A-clicking in. He attacks the DK and the Pit Lord. Those are the worst targets to attack. Finally he goes to the Fiend backline, but that was after like, what, 15 seconds?
That's the TC level 3. Maybe the Stomp can turn it around. Focus fire on that very TC. Stomp is not very good as the DK can still coil.
Blade Master hurt, in a bit of trouble, goes for the heal potion. TC also hurt, also with the heal potion. Mana pot on the Shadow Hunter for more heal wave.
So expensive for FoCuS to use all these consumables. Fiends are falling now. Clarity use on that Shadow Hunter. Can FoCuS win this fight? That would be surreal. He has the supply lead now.
He's taking out more and more Fiends, and the lacking damage mitigation from Banshee is starting to show. Why is there no Banshees for WFZ? He easily had the time to transition at this point. But it's only statues and Fiends, and once the Blade Master Purge commits, or connects rather, it's easy kills for FoCuS.
Yeah, gets the Fiend back from the Kodo, but it feels so good to be FoCuS right now. Pit Lord level 3. Okay, maybe that helps against the Headhunter's range damage. Fiend gets away is also nice. Last bit of mana on the DK. That was the last coil.
Headhunter still remaining though, and Blade Master not gonna fall. He's fast enough to walk away. And WFZ, it feels like he has given away pretty much his entire advantage at this stage.
Both expos running. FoCuS held masterfully.
Why is he not going Banshees?
Despite the bad start, yes, that is.
He's not even going Destroyers. He's just making nothing on tier 3.
Yeah. All he got from tier 3 was the 3rd hero and an orb. Now going Abominations instead.
When he killed the tower, if he had 4 Banshees right there, he probably wins the game. Now comes the temple. A little late.
17 minutes in. With the expo before, he wasn't forced to do this push. He had the expo up. He could just set back, get a little bit of shop control, and change his build.
Yeah, FoCuS is getting away with the black eye. He should have lost this game. If this was Happy he's facing, this would be so over. But
we can't compare every undead to Happy. That's so unfair.
It is true. I agree. But if you want to play undead competitively on the highest level, you kind of have to play like Happy.
But imagine how unfair it would be if, like, your analysis would always be compared to Grubby or my hype casting to Toby Wan. It's you can't win.
Well, good thing is we don't have tournaments, so there's no way to prove that we're bad.
Second expansion by FoCuS. He's making use of that one fight. And now, yeah, what is WFZ doing? 2 base versus 3.
Attack.
Hero levels are good. It's Howl 2, by the way, not Cleave. I'm surprised about that.
The game is certainly not over. but WFZ moving in. This, like, A-bombs. They're bad against Kodos, and they're actually also pretty bad against Headhunters.
With Disease Cloud, I could see the appeal, but it's not here. So, Howl of Terror, nice, still no dispel by FoCuS. This Abomination did nothing as the Kodo snacks it immediately. Focus Fire on the Pit Lord once again. There is a coil and potions, so should be pretty safe for now, but that gives the kill to the Fiend. And that's a nice stun here. Double kill on the Fiends.
And this is the biggest weakness of this Pit Lord in the super late game. There's no answer against the TC, who is a sick supporting third hero. Best third hero in the game by far, in my opinion. He's seen a bit of trouble now, getting focused severely, has more potions to use though. Mana pot and heal pot at the same time. More stomps coming in, more damage. Blade Master in the back, taking care of the statues. Now FoCuS is microing properly and is kind of stomping through this army. 71 supply for the Orc, going for the Lich. Kill! The Invul prevents that for a little bit, but boy oh boy, is WFZ falling apart here or what?
Again, the fight started with a Focus Fire on the Pit Lord, but I guess that was alright. After that, Fiend focus, and everything was just dead. Perfect stomps, nice hexes, good switching of the Focus Fire. DK in trouble now, either a TP or the GG. Hex and Lich dead, this must be the GG. No way of fighting without a Lich.
Yeah.
It's not giving this up yet, but...
It's high level heroes. And focus on 3 bases. He can buy every item in the marketplace now if he wants.
Come on, waifu! Let's go for a shopping trip.
TC about to be 4. Shadow about to be 5. Only thing he's missing is walkers. Does he seriously have not a single peon on lumber? Oh, he has a shredder though. Okay.
Yeah.
Alright. That's a super effective economy. 15 peons on gold, only 4 supply on lumber. That's enough. This, yeah, this is peak Orc. If you throw a bit of Spirit Link in. This is as strong as it gets.
And WFZ, speaking of economy, 1,000 gold, 20 lumber. 51 supply. This is the worst. He used the ghouls before, right? He has 2 on lumber now. Uh-oh! Looks like we get a Moon versus FoCuS Winnerbracket final. Again, a superb Howl of Terror, but what does it do if the damage is still enough? Dieback on the oh, almost. Transfers the Invul before. But it's so much damage and so little mana.
FoCuS fights his way back. Gets more level ups. The DK kill would crown his achievement. These hex timings, by the way, have been really nice.
Yeah. He waited to follow up.
Woo! The misses!
Almost! But I mean, what to do now? Next Fiend is falling.
As we can see, Curse is pretty good. Would have been nice for WFZ to have that when he had a big lead in this game. But his transition was way too late.
I haven't seen an Orc on 3 bases in a long time against Undead.
It was Fly against Happy, right? VRC?
Yeah, that must have been the last time.
This is a fun game now for FoCuS. He knows there's no way of losing this anymore.
Finding the perfect storms. Little too late with that storm, but the next hex should secure the kill, or it's just a critical strike without a miss. The glass cannon breaks again. And I really see no reason for WFZ to stay in this. Maybe he doesn't know about the 3rd base yet.
Next hero kill coming in. Level 5, 554 heroes. That's GG by WFZ. And that's a painful loss.
Yes.
Because that was a big lead for WFZ. That's a game that you should have won. But let's slip away.
I guess it was kind of a strong showing here to see that after this disastrous game 1, he came back strong and had a good early game. But yeah, many mistakes afterwards.
And FoCuS, I wonder, was he underestimating WFZ? Did he think he can just click into that fight and win? It's not that easy. You have to select the right targets. If there's a Pit Lord standing in front with Frost Armor, that's not the dude you want to attack against statues and the Fiends. And he almost got punished. But yeah. Moon versus FoCuS coming up next. Well, I guess maybe we're going to have lower bracket first, but we have 3 more amazing matches in Group B to find out who joins the other 4 in the top 8.
True. If we go to the lower bracket first, which would fit the schedule of the past 2 days, then WFZ versus SOC and SOC versus Undead. It's going to be cool as well. Winnerbracket final waiting with Moon versus FoCuS, the 2 strongest Koreans in this group so far. We throw you into a little break, catching a breath. You can take a look at the stream description to find ways to support us, either by following us on our social media or here on Twitch to raise our numbers and our reach, or financially, via subs, via donations, via merchandise purchases. We are very thankful for all of it. So stay tuned. See you in a bit.